everybody, and welcome to my studio, my new kit, my gear. I'm going to do a behind the scenes rundown of what it is that I'm using to record my videos now. Also, a big shout out to you guys out there who are looking for a pro studio of your own. You're looking at the gear. Sweetwater is doing a huge giveaway right now for a $10,000 pro studio. So click the link, go enter to win, because I want everybody to have an awesome studio, and this is a chance to win one. So go do it. Now, back to my setup. This is my new Pearl Session Studio Select kit, and this is going to be the new video kit and studio kit for a lot of my recordings and a lot of things that I'm doing. I'll also be gigging with this thing. I'm super pumped about it. It's got birch and mahogany shells. It's got outer 60-degree bearing edges. Has a lot of tone to it, but a lot of fatness and a lot of like classic rock sound, which I really, really love. I've paired that, the 10, 12, 14, 16, and 22-inch shell pack with a 14 by 5 inch hybrid exotic, which has Coop3r and fiberglass shell. And that's a really, really cool snare drum from Pearl. Lots of attack, lots of aggression, volume. You can do so much with this. And I also have, as an aux snare right here, my 14 by 5 inch igniter snare. So lots of fun with the drums here. On top of that, I've got these beautiful K Sweet cymbals. I've got Sweet crashes. I've got a K cluster crash over here. I've got these Zildjian effect stacks. A 10 and a 16 over here. I also have the 23-inch Sweet Ride and Sweet hi-hats and a K-Custom Special Dry China cymbal over here. So, love this setup. What's really important though, past the drums and the cymbals, is also how you record those drums and cymbals. And so, I love Earthworks mics. I use them for everything now. It really, like, once you try Earthworks mics, for me and for so many of the engineers and people that I've shown these microphones to, you just can't go back. The transparency and clarity that you get, I created a word there, transparency and clarity, transparency. What you get from these microphones, the transparency and the clarity, is absolutely insane. It really, like, it's kind of like having headphones on and listening to the drum set in the room and then taking those headphones off and just being there with the drums, and it's absolutely incredible for me. I use the DM20s on the toms and the snare, which have the really cool gooseneck, and once you kind of like put them where you want, they stay. They're quite sturdy microphones. And then I've got an SR20 LS on the kick, and then SR25s up here on the overheads. And this whole setup you can get in a DK7 pack for a 5-piece kit, and it is like, it's an investment. It is not like one of those like, yeah, I got a couple $100 laying around, I'm gonna buy these microphones. But if you save up and you put your money into these mics, you want something that really works, these really work. So I absolutely love these bad boys. Now, everything is connected in a studio, of course, and I have two different setups that I use. Right now, this whole setup is actually connected through this Rapco Horizon snake into my control room. So this snake has 24 channels, 24 sends into the control room, goes through the wall, around the back and into the control room. And so I had the penetration for the snake on the back wall so that there's not as much sound transfer between the walls. And this right here connects to 3 different 8 preamp interfaces that I have in the other room. And so I'm able to record 24 channels through this snake. But when I'm recording my own videos here, and it's something that I'm doing on my own and I don't have an engineer here, I record in the room to these 16 channels here. This is Claret 8 Pre-X from Focusrite connected to a Claret Octo-Pre. So I get 8 preamps on here, and then I get 8 XLR preamps down there on that Octo-Pre. So I get 16, and everything is just routed here. I record on a laptop in the room, and it makes everything very simple. But if I have an engineer here and I really want someone to be mixing, having that room separation and the ability to mix in the other room is huge. And so I use the RedNet system here from Focusrite that sends the audio from the computer in there to my ears so I can play to whatever I'm recording in here. And all of it is done over Ethernet. So I have single cables that can transfer so much data between the rooms. And that is how I'm able to connect both rooms without a ton of penetrations on the wall and a ton of sound going between them. Simple Ethernet. So let's go in the other room and check out the preamps that I'm using on this exact setup for some of my latest videos and recordings. I'm gonna sit in the master chair here. spent some good money on this chair, and so I like to sit in it as much as I can because it was a lot to drop money on a chair. You know, like a preamp is one thing, but to spend money on a chair, you're like, do I really want to spend that much money on a chair? But once you sit in it, oh yes, you do. Okay, so this is my control room. This is where I am recording those beautiful drums into right now. And so I actually have 24 pre's, as I was talking about before. I've got a Red 8, I've got an ISA 828, and then another Red 8 from Focusrite, which sometimes I can move this Red 8 into the other room so I can communicate via Ethernet and have everything on that Dante network. But in this situation, I'm using the Red 8 and the ISA 828 from that snake. Comes in through the wall and connects to the back of these right here. And so one of the things that I really love about this setup is the ability to feel analog even though it is digital. And so I use the fader port 16 over here to be able to go in and adjust the actual channels like it's an analog board, but instead it is digital. And so these are motorized, so if I program things, you'll see them moving up and down as I am recording. And it really gives the engineers who come into my studio the best of both worlds. They get that analog feel, but then they get the digital compatibility and the connectivity between rooms with the Dante network and the Red 8. Really love these preamps. These are my definitely more high-end preamps that I use for the bigger productions because I love to do something a little more mid-level when it comes to what I record within the room. But here, the engineer comes in, they have everything that they need to record something really, really awesome. And I'm really proud of this setup. I spent a lot of time thinking about this setup and choosing what it is that I wanted to use. And Focusrite's preamps and their connectivity and everything that they're doing is just, it's awesome. So I absolutely love that. I do the dual screen here so that I can use the mixer over there if I'd like, and then also run the main window with all of your tracks on there, and you kind of get a big picture of both. And instead of having an actual window, I have this beautiful digital window into the other room. And so I also can play PS4 on that, which is really important. So yeah, that is my setup that I'm currently using for my videos and for a lot of the productions here at the studio. And the Session Studio Select kit, the Earthworks mics, the Focusrite preamps, those are all staples in what I'm going to be putting out in the future. And so I'm really excited to show it to you guys and just kind of give you a little bit of the behind the scenes on what I'm doing now. Don't forget to go and enter to win the $10,000 Pro Studio giveaway that Sweetwater's putting on right now. I'm only telling you because if you don't enter, you're not going to win. And you know, I've dreamed of having a great studio, and the fact that you could go enter your email address and then possibly win an incredible studio is a big thing. And I certainly, for those of you out there who don't already have a studio and you're dreaming of one, this could be your chance. So I wanted to make sure you knew about it. Go click the link in the top of the description, and I hope that if you have any questions, you leave them down below. I'm going to try and answer as many as I can, but I am going to go play some more drums. So I'm going to hit record in here. Actually, I'm going to hit record right here. Way cooler when I hit it on that. And I'm going to go play some drums.